The Legendary Life of the Best Shooting Boots. Chapter 1. The otaku is called Hanyuns, a young man whose life circle is limited to rooms, computer desks and takeaway platforms. His life is monotonous, but his only passion is football, not real football, but play-by-play football. On a rainy afternoon, Hanyuns rummaged through pirated games in a second-hand game store and accidentally found a PES 2010. The box was worn out, but the sneakers on the cover were shining strangely. His heart was shocked and he couldn't help but buy it. Back in the room, insert the disc, and the moment the game starts, the light shines on his eyes, as if with magic. In the first game, he controlled the ball, passed, and shot, and every movement was extremely smooth, but what surprised him the most was that the sneakers in the game suddenly fell into his real world, placed on the table, shining with a pale golden sheen. Hanyuns reached out and touched it, feeling a warm energy flowing through his body instantly. This. What's going on? He muttered to himself, both surprised and happy in his heart. He decided to put on these sneakers and go downstairs to play on a real football field. The first time he stepped out of the room and faced the urge to face the intertwined fear and curiosity of the outside world. Chapter 2. The court was empty, and the rain wet the turf, but Hanyuns didn't care. He felt a kind of ball control coming from his sneakers under his feet. He tried to shoot, and the ball slid consciously into the dead corner of the goal, fast and accurate, and even the wind direction was controlled. At this moment, a mysterious man appeared, wearing a black trench coat, with cold eyes, and holding a football with a flashing red light in his hand. "You got those sneakers, didn't you?" The mysterious man's tone was low, and his voice was coercive. Hanyuns was stunned. "You? Who are you? How could these shoes have power?" The mysterious man smiled slightly. "These are not ordinary shoes. They come from the legend of the best shooter and can bring the holder to the path of a true football legend. But every power comes at a price." Hanyuns was shocked, but he couldn't suppress his excitement. He knew that this was a life-changing opportunity. Chapter 3. After the rain stopped, Hanyuns began his first trial, controlling the football with the power of sneakers. The ball under his feet seemed to be pulled by his thoughts, passing through the splashes of the rain and hitting the dead corner of the goal with precision. The mysterious man looked at him. "The control is good, but it is still rudimentary. Are you ready to face the real challenge?" At that moment, 3 people in bizarre jerseys appeared at the other end of the court, their eyes shining with ominous light, and the cue flashed with electric light when it touched the ball. "They are your first trial opponents," the mysterious man whispered. Hanyuns' heart raced, and for the first time, he truly felt that the competition and power of football do not only exist in the game, but are a battlefield that can really threaten life and death. Chapter 4. At the beginning of the game, Hanyuns' sneakers glowed, and every passer spun like a storm. The opponent's attack was fast, but it seemed to become sluggish under the light and shadow of the sneakers, and every shot was accurately defused. The air on the pitch after the rain smelled of electricity, and the football flew with his thoughts like life. The mysterious man stood on the sidelines. "Don't rely solely on strength. Your judgment and reaction are the key to victory." Hanyuns tried to combine skills for the first time. The power of the sneakers under his feet was fused with the strategy in his mind, and his shooting speed and accuracy reached their peak. In the end, he scored 3 consecutive long-range goals on a rain-soaked pitch, and his opponent fell on the grass with a surprised expression. Chapter 5. After the game, the mysterious man handed Hanyuns a strange map. "This is the entrance to the Legend League, where each city and every stadium hides different trials. You'll have to grow up and master the true power of your shoe, or the next trial will be even more brutal than this one." Hanyuns was both expectant and nervous, and when he returned to the room, he began to study the connection between the map and the game. The light from the sneakers illuminated the room at night, as if reminding him that the real adventure had begun. He began to plan his journey. Every city, every stadium, was a trial and an opportunity, and every duel would gradually make him a legendary goalkeeper. Chapter 6. The first city, the Windy City. The football field in the city is built on a cliff. The wind is strong, and every shot is greatly disturbed. Han Yun's put on the best shooting shoes, feeling the power of the sneakers and the wind speed integrating with each other. He began to practice wind shadow shooting, able to accurately control the curve of the ball, and can score the goal even against the wind. The local masters, the wind blades, appeared, each of whom was a wind magician-like player, and the ball was as fast as a phantom. For the first time, Han Yun's combined strength and strategy in actual combat, using the light and shadow power of sneakers to confuse opponents, performed difficult vacation actions, and finally scored 3 goals in a row. The audience was amazed, and the mysterious man on the sidelines reappeared. You have begun to understand the true power of shoes, but it is far from enough. Chapter 7. The entire Windblade team of the Windy City was dispatched, and every player's movements were as fast as lightning, bringing air currents when controlling the ball, and the ball was unpredictable as if possessed by the wind demon. The best shooting shoes at Han Yun's feet glowed, and he felt the fusion of the sneakers with the wind field, and the ball spun in a perfect arc under his feet. In the first round of the showdown, the Windblade's forward charged shot, the ball was so fast that it was almost invisible to the naked eye. Han Yun's used the power of light and shadow in his sneakers to fine-tune the strength of his feet, and the ball cleverly avoided the opponent's attack as if he was attracted, and shot accurately in front of the opponent's goal. There were exclamations from the audience, and the rain-soaked court glowed, as if soaked in magic. Han Yun's felt for the first time that the real game is not only about strength, but also about wisdom, strategy, and perception of the court. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 8. The coach of the Windblade team, an old man with long white hair, with frosty light under his feet, said coldly, "Do you think you can beat me with just shoes?" Immediately, he manipulated the wind on the court to turn the rain into a frost obstacle, and the ball formed a very complex trajectory in the air. Han Yun secretly analyzed in his heart that he decided to try shooting against the wind. The light of the sneakers fused with the wind field, and the ball drew a dragon-shaped arc in the air, hitting the dead corner of the goal. The players of the Windblade team were forced to retreat, and even the coach showed an incredulous look. At the end of the first round, Han Yun's won 3-0, but he knew that the real challenge was yet to come. The sneakers glowed softly, as if encouraging him, "Your legend has just begun." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 9. After the match in the Windy City, the mysterious man reappeared, and he handed Han Yun a glowing map. The next city is Thunder Town. The stadium is located in the Thunder and Lightning Forest, and every game has random lightning interference, testing your ability to control the ball and predict the ball. Han Yun accepted the map, both expectant and nervous, and began to simulate various shooting angles and speeds in the room. The light and shadow of the sneakers seemed to synchronize with his thinking, and each practice was more accurate than the last, even predicting the trajectory of the ball in his mind. He silently told himself, "It's not just a game, it's a real trial. I want to become a true legend." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 10. The game in Thundertown began. The sky was filled with dark clouds, lightning kept hitting the court, and the field brought flashing lightning. Han Yun put on the best shooting shoes and felt the resonance between the sneakers and the lightning field, and every ball control seemed to merge with natural energy. Thunder players are electrified with every shot, with extremely fast balls and unpredictable trajectories. Han Yun tried the Thunder clone shot. The sneaker clone can simulate his movements in an instant, confuse the opponent, and complete a fatal shot in the lightning gap. In the audience, lightning illuminates the court, and the light emitted by the sneakers intertwines with the lightning, forming a magnificent visual spectacle. The Thunder team was defeated consecutively, and Han Yun began to realize that every city and every stadium is a new ability evolution test. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 11. After the victory of Thunder Town, Han Yun received a notice from a mysterious man. The next challenge is the Flame Stadium of the Wind and Fire Federation, where the flames burn in the center of the stadium and must avoid the pillar of fire every shot. Han Yun simulated in the room. The sneakers emitted heat. He felt the combination of light and shadow and heat, and every dribble brought a halo of flames. He practiced the Hokage shot, and the ball arced like a flame, igniting a shimmering spark when it hit the dead corner of the goal. On the flame field, the opponent is a team called Flame Knight, and each player controls the flames and attacks like a firestorm. Han Yun cleverly used light and shadow shots combined with the fire energy under his feet to score 5 goals in a row and force the opponent to retreat. The audience exclaimed, "The flames and light and shadow intertwined, and the power of the sneakers was further awakened. The mysterious man appeared and whispered, "Your top-notch shooting shoes have begun to awaken true power, and the challenges ahead will be even more bizarre." Chapter 12. On the Flame Stadium of the Wind and Fire Federation, Han Yun's faced the trial of burning goals for the first time. With each shot, he had to calculate the height, angle, and wind direction of the flames, and the best shooting shoes emitted a hot light, as if they were merging with the flames. Every player in the Flame Knights wields fire and attacks like a firestorm. Han Yun's performed the Hokage shot, and the ball drew a flame arc in the air, avoiding the pillar of fire and accurately entering the net. The stadium audience exclaimed, "Flames and light and shadow intertwined," and the entire stadium was like a magical battlefield. After the victory, the mysterious man appeared, "Your best shooting shoes have sensed your courage and wisdom, and in the next level, you will face even greater challenges. Chapter 13. The next city is Frost Valley, where the course is covered in thick ice, and every step is extremely slippery, and the speed of the ball becomes unpredictable. Han Yun's put on his sneakers and felt the combination of light and shadow and frost, and he could accurately control the direction of sliding every dribble. The opponent is the Ice Phantoms, and their shots are cold, and when the ball hits the ground, it forms frost traps. Han Yun's performed the Ice Shadow Magic Step, the sneakers under his feet were like magic, the ball drifted and rotated on the ice, continuously breaking through the opponent's defense. Finally, he shot the ball into the air goal, and the ice melted a small piece, and the light and shadow intertwined with the cold, making the stadium like a dream. The mysterious man whispered, "The Frost Valley trial is complete, your skills will be more comprehensive." Chapter 14. Han Yun's came to the gravity peak, the court was surrounded by strange gravity, and the ball would float or fall rapidly at will. The best shooting shoes under his feet flickered, driving him to sense changes in gravity and control the ball like controlling the wind and gravity. The opponent is the Anti-Gravity League, where each player can control the floating direction of the ball. Han Yun's used the space arc shot to throw the ball along the curve, break through the gravity defense line, and accurately enter the net. At the end of the gravity peak trial, he was surprised by the capabilities of the sneakers, they had already begun to calculate the optimal shot path on their own. The mysterious man appeared and smiled, "Your top-notch shooting shoes are close to the legendary realm." Chapter 15. Magnetic City, the next trial city, the stadium is covered with magnetic field devices, and the ball is attracted or repelled. Han Yun's felt the sneakers in magnetic resonance, and he began to practice magnetic shadow shuttle, where the ball can avoid magnetic field obstacles in the air. Magnetic League opponents, each with magnetic field control, the field changes rapidly. Han Yun's used the light and shadow clone of the sneaker and the magnetic path to calculate to complete a precise shot and score 4 goals in a row. The audience was amazed that the stadium was intertwined with light and shadow and magnetism, just like a futuristic science fiction world. The mysterious man appeared, "You have mastered some of the best shooting shoe abilities, and the real legend has just begun." Chapter 16. The next trial is the Phantom Forest, where the field is covered in fog and phantoms, and every shot can be interfered with by phantoms. Han Yun's performed the Phantom Clone shot, and the sneaker light and shadow clone and the phantom intertwined, making the ball accurately pass through the fog. The players of the Phantom Forest team are good at stealth and misaligned movement, but Han Yun's uses light and shadow shooting and observation to break the defense line again and again. Eventually, he fired the ball into a hidden goal, the fog dissipated, and the pitch was restored to its original appearance. The mysterious man said, "The Phantom Forest trial is complete, and you can already sense the hidden changes of your opponent in the court." Chapter 17. On the Flame Desert course, the heat wave is rolling, the stadium is constantly moving, and sand and dust interfere with the view. Han Yun's integrated the light and shadow power of sneakers with the heat of the environment to practice sand shadow shooting, and the ball drew a predictable trajectory in the sand. Desert opponents have smoke and dust phantom abilities, and possession is very threatening. Han Yun's cleverly used sharing to shoot the goal, the ball arced in the air, hit the goal, and the sand dust was instantly scattered by light and shadow. After the victory, the mysterious man smiled. Your superb shooting shoes have been completely integrated with you, and you will face the final alliance challenge next. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 18. The final league competition location, top of the stars. The floating stadium hangs in the sky, and the field is covered with swirls of light and shadow and galaxy obstacles. Legendary teams from all over the world gather, each with bizarre abilities, and the court environment is constantly changing. Han Yun's put on the best shooting shoes and felt the awakening of his full ability. The light of the sneakers under his feet illuminated the court, and every possession of the ball resonated with the environment. Opponents include Thunder, Wind Blade, Flame, Frost, Magnetic Alliance, Phantom Forest. Each team is composed of elite players, with intertwined skills and magic, and the stadium is as incredible as a battlefield. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 19. At the beginning of the game, Han Yun's faced a multi-team joint attack for the first time, and every pass had to take into account the offensive and defensive strategies of the 5 teams. The best shooting shoes glow, and the ball independently judges the trajectory in the air and continuously crosses the defense line. AJ, Alstom, and other mysterious avatars appear in the light and shadow, simulating his movements, confusing opponents, and completing difficult shots. Big Bird's all-round attack and Carter's divine power turned into phantom assistance, and the light and shadow of the court rotated, like a cosmic stage. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 20. During the game, a dark vortex appeared in the sky, and the mysterious man said, "This is the ultimate test. Can you fully control the power of your sneakers?" Han Yun's felt that the sneakers were completely integrated with his own thinking, and for the first time, he intuitively operated light and shadow to shoot the goal, and the ball automatically avoided the opponent and entered the net accurately. The dark vortex tries to absorb the energy of the pitch, but the brilliance of the superb shooting shoes stabilizes the field and keeps the pitch intact. He realized that this was not just football, but the ultimate test of strength, wisdom, and strategy. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 21. The game reached its climax, and the teams teamed up to fight against Han Yun's, but he began to use multiple clones to shoot, and the light and shadow clones attacked at the same time, and the stadium was like a maze of light and shadow. Every shot creates ripples of light that break through the opponent's defense. The mysterious man whispered, "Your top-notch shooting shoes have surpassed legends, and a true legend is about to be born." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 22. The peak of the Stars Stadium entered the final battle stage, and the dark vortex began to deform, forming a huge giant beast that wanted to seize the power of the sneakers. Han Yun's feet flashed, he concentrated all his abilities, and the sneakers and the light and shadow clones were completely integrated to form an extreme shooting light array. With each shot with devastating power, a wave of light swept across the pitch and the dark behemoth was repulsed. All opponents were also shocked, and the stadium was like a galaxy exploding, with light and shadow and energy swirling and intertwining, presenting a fantastic scene. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 23. The best shooting shoes glowed to the extreme, illuminating the entire top of the Stars Stadium, and Han Yun's felt that strength and wisdom were completely unified. The final charge of the dark vortex giant beast was cracked, the court returned to calm, and the light and shadow clones turned into countless meteors and scattered. In the audience, fans and legendary players from all over the world cheered for him, and the mysterious man smiled, "You have completed all the trials, and the best shooting shoes are completely integrated with you." Underscore 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 un. Chapter 24. After the game, a colorful river of light appeared in the sky above the stars, and the light and shadow reflected the entire city. Han Yun stood in the center of the court, holding the best shooting shoes, feeling supreme confidence and a sense of accomplishment. The sneakers were slightly hot, as if to say to him, "The legend has just begun, and there are countless challenges ahead." He silently made up his mind in his heart, no matter how strong the opponent is or how mysterious the sneakers are, I will use wisdom, strategy, and courage to create my own legendary life. Chapter 25. The opening ceremony of the Global Legends League was held in the Sky City, where the entire stadium was suspended above the sea of clouds, with light and shadow intertwined with rainbows, resembling a fairyland. Han Yun stood in the center of the court, his top-notch shooting shoes shining with golden light, and every movement was like stepping on the clouds. The surrounding spectators are composed of fans from all over the world, and a rune of light appears in the center of the stadium, reminding all participants that this is no ordinary game. The mysterious man whispered to him, "This is the final stage, the opponents are all historical players and legendary masters, and the challenge will be unprecedented." At the beginning of the game, the first opponent was the Frost and Snow united from the Ice and Snow Kingdom, and the players had frosty light under their feet, and their shots penetrated the goal like a cold current. Han Yun's performed a ice and fire fusion shot, the light of the sneakers intertwined with the cold, and the ball drew an arc of heat and cold in the air, accurately entering the net. Chapter 26. After the Ice Kingdom team was defeated in a row, the next opponent was the Thunderstorm team. Each player can control thunder and lightning, shoot with lightning, and the field is changing rapidly. Han Yun's tried the Thunder Shadow Clone shooting for the first time. The Light and Shadow Clone resonated with the best shooting shoes, and the ball avoided the attack in the thunder and scored 3 goals in a row. The Thunderstorm exclaimed that they had never encountered such a precise shot. Han Yun's felt the further awakening of the power of sneakers, which seemed to predict the opponent's movements and help him make optimal decisions. The mysterious man appears, whispering, "You've mastered the core power of the sneaker, but it's not enough to face the true ultimate challenge." Chapter 27. In the third game of the game, the opponent is the Phantom Hunters. The field is full of fog and phantoms, and every possession of the ball can fall into a trap. Han Yun's performed the Phantom Shuttle shot. The Light and Shadow Clone and the best shooting shoes perfectly cooperated, and the ball automatically avoided obstacles in the Phantom Maze and entered the net accurately. The opponent attempted to interfere with him with stealth and shift tactics, but Han Yun's sneaker glow revealed the Phantom's true location. At the end of the game, Han Yun's won by an overwhelming margin, and the audience applauded like thunder, and the light and shadow and fog intertwined into a magnificent scene. Chapter 28. The mysterious man reminded, "Next is the ultimate test, the Tower of Light and Shadow. The court here will change shape at will, and the sneakers will completely test your wisdom and intuition." The pitch of the Tower of Light floats in the night sky, and each floor has different course rules: spin, inverted, gravity-defying, and even multiple balls appearing at the same time. The best shooting shoes under Han Yun's feet glowed, and countless light and shadow clones surrounded the audience like a galaxy. The first floor is the rotating maze court, where he uses the light and shadow maze shot, and the ball is pulled by the mind, automatically crossing the rotating barrier and successfully shooting. The second layer is an inverted court. The court is upside down, the trajectory of the ball is completely different. Han Yun's uses light and shadow clones to calculate the best angle, and the ball hits the goal accurately. Chapter 29. The third layer is that multiple balls appear at the same time, and 4 balls are launched at the same time, and the attack speed is extremely fast. Han Yun's performed a multiple clone shot, controlling 1 ball for each clone and scoring 4 goals in a row, completing an amazing feat. The fourth level is the anti-gravity court, where the ball floats freely and the shooting trajectory is difficult to control. Han Yun's integrates light and shadow shooting with sneaker ability, and the ball independently chooses the best trajectory and hits the goal accurately. The scene is like a meteor shower. The mysterious man appeared. "You have completed all the trials of the Tower of Light and Shadow, and the power of the best shooting shoes has been fully awakened." Chapter 30. The Stars Peak Stadium lit up again, and finally the league competition officially began, with the opponents being global legends, including the top players from trials everywhere. Han Yun stood in the center of the court. The light and shadow clone and the power of the sneakers were completely integrated, and he felt the rhythm of the whole court resonating with the stadium environment for the first time. At the beginning of the game, the teams teamed up to attack. The stadium changed rapidly. The light of the sneakers and the light and shadow clones were intertwined, and the ball ran autonomously like life. Han Yun's performed a extreme light and shadow shot, the ball drew a brilliant arc in the air, broke through the defense, and scored 7 goals in a row. The audience applauded like thunder, and the light and shadow and energy intertwined into a magnificent spectacle, and the global legend team was shocked. Chapter 31. In the middle of the game, a dark vortex appears in the sky, the energy of the court is drained, and the opponent tries to use the dark power to snatch the sneakers. Han Yun's completely released the energy of the best shooting shoes, forming a light and shadow shield to resist the attack of dark forces. The sneakers and the light and shadow clones operate synchronously, and the ball avoids attacks independently, shooting accurately and perfectly. The mysterious man appeared, whispering, "This is your final trial, and victory will determine the birth of a true legend." Chapter 32. The game entered the decisive stage, with each team attacking with all their might, and the stadium was covered with a vortex of light and shadow and energy. Han Yun's performed the extreme clone burst shot, multiple light and shadow clones attacked at the same time, and the stadium was like a galaxy erupting. Although the opponent was strong, they could not resist the power of the best shooting shoes and were continuously broken through the defense. In the audience, fans from all over the world cheered for him, and the light and shadow and energy intertwined, like a dreamy wonderland. Chapter 33. The final goal was decided, and the dark vortex emerged again, trying to devour the energy of the sneakers. Han Yun's concentrated all his strength and fused the sneakers with the light and shadow clones to form the ultimate shooting light array. The ball drew a perfect arc in the air, broke through the dark vortex, hit the dead corner of the goal, and the entire sky of light burst into light. The dark vortex dissipated, and the entire global legend team fell to their knees, recognizing Han Yun's as the undisputed champion. Chapter 34. At the end of the game, the sky light river illuminated the entire stadium, and Han Yun stood in the center of the throne, holding the best shooting shoes. The light and shadow clone slowly dissipated, and the sneaker glowed gently, as if whispering, "You have completed all the trials, the true legend is born." The global media, audience, and legendary players all cheered for him, and the power of the best shooting shoes has fully awakened. The mysterious man smiled, "Your legendary life has really begun." Chapter 35. After the victory, Han Yun's returned home, the light and shadow clones flashed in the room, and the power of the sneakers seemed to be linked with the real world. He discovered that he could harness the power of sneakers to make soccer even more exciting and create ways to play like never before. The best shooting shoes became his trademark, not only a symbol of strength but also a symbol of wisdom and courage. He began to think about the future. Perhaps one day, the power of sneakers could change the entire football world and even create a new legend. Chapter 36. The global tour was launched, and Han Yun's embarked on a journey to the aflame desert city. The courts of the desert city are like burning lava rivers, and every possession of the ball can be blocked by scorching sand columns. Han Yun's put on the best shooting shoes, feeling the resonance of light and shadow and heat, and the ball drew a flame arc in the air. The opponent is the desert flames, and each player can control desert storm, making the pitch change rapidly. Han Yun's performed the Hokage light speed shot, the ball was like a flame meteor, breaking through the sand pillar barrier and scoring consecutive goals. The desert residents in the audience exclaimed, the fire and light and shadow intertwined, and the stadium was like a lava spectacle. After the game, the mysterious man whispered, "You have fully mastered the desert and fire elements, the best shooting shoes are extremely integrated with you, and you will face the most dangerous opponent in the world next." Chapter 37. The next city is the extreme ice valley, where the pitch is covered in thick ice and the ball slides unpredictably due to the cold. Han Yun's performed the ice and fire light and shadow shooting, combining heat and cold to enable the ball to glide accurately on the ice. The glacier players possess the power of frost, bringing a cold wave that freezes the field with every shot. Han Yun's used light and shadow clone tactics, the power of the sneakers was integrated with the glacial environment, and every shot avoided the freezing trap and entered the net accurately. In the audience, ice and snow, light and shadow intertwined, shining like an aurora. Han Yun's felt the true power of elemental control for the first time. The mysterious man whispered, "You have mastered the extreme environment, and the power of the best shooting shoes has entered the eve of its peak." Chapter 38. The global tour came to the Thunder Sky City. The stadium floated high in the sky, the thunder kept hitting the court, and the ball speed instantly increased. Han Yun's performed the Thunder Shadow Clone extremely fast shot, and the light and shadow clone fused with the light, making the ball fly faster in the air than it was reasonable. The top players of the Thunder Sky team can manipulate thunder and lightning, and their shots are electrifying, making the stadium as dangerous as a maze of lightning. Han Yun's used the light and shadow of his sneakers to sense the trajectory of thunder and lightning, and perfectly avoided the attack with every shot, scoring 5 goals in a row. The audience at Sky City Stadium was amazed, with light and shadow intertwined with thunder and lightning, and the entire high-altitude stadium was like a science fiction spectacle. The mysterious man appeared again. The ultimate challenge is approaching, and you will face the strongest team in the world. Chapter 39. In the end, the team came to the Star Fantasy, floating in the universe. The stadium is composed of meteors, rivers of light and whirlpools, and every possession of the ball faces an unknown trajectory. The best shooting shoes under Han Yun's feet glow, and every dribble can perceive the trajectory of the stars. The opponent is a group of legendary teams, composed of elite players from all over the world, all of whom have extraordinary abilities. At the beginning of the game, the stadium changes rapidly, and the light and shadow of the best shooting shoes work together with the clone, and the ball is controlled by the will, automatically avoiding the opponent's defense. Every shot drives ripples of light, breaking through the defense, and the audience applauds like thunder, and the stadium is like a cosmic stage. Chapter 40. In the middle of the star illusion, the dark vortex reappeared, trying to devour the energy of the sneakers, and the united team secretly cooperated in an attempt to seize the best shooting shoes. Han Yun's completely unleashed the power of the sneakers, forming a light and shadow shield formation to resist the dark forces. During the game, he performed the extreme clone burst. Multiple light and shadow clones attacked at the same time, and the ball avoided the attack independently and entered the net accurately. In the audience, fans from all over the world cheered for him, and the light and shadow and energy intertwined, like a dreamy wonderland. The mysterious man whispered, "This is the final trial, and victory will determine the birth of a true legend." Chapter 41. The game entered the decisive stage, and the teams attacked with all their might, with light and shadow rotating and meteors flying in the Star Fantasy Stadium. Han Yun's performed a extreme light and shadow shot. The ball drew a brilliant arc in the air, broke through the defense, and scored 7 goals in a row. Although the opponent was strong, they could not resist the power of the best shooting shoes and were continuously broken through the defense. The audience applauded like thunder. Light and shadow and energy intertwined into a magnificent spectacle, and Han Yun's legendary status was unshakable. Chapter 42. The final goal was decided, and the dark vortex emerged again, trying to devour the energy of the sneakers. Han Yun's concentrated all his strength and fused the sneakers with the light and shadow clones to form the ultimate shooting light array. The ball drew a perfect arc in the air, breaking through the dark vortex and hitting the dead corner of the goal, and the entire star illusion light river burst out with light. The dark vortex dissipated, and the entire global legend team fell to their knees, recognizing Han Yun's as the undisputed champion. Chapter 43. After the victory, the best shooting shoes glowed softly, as if whispering, "You have completed all the trials, and a true legend is born." Han Yun stood in the center of the Star Fantasy Stadium, holding sneakers in his hand, and the light and shadow clones slowly dissipated, leaving behind dazzling brilliance. The global media, audience, and legendary players all cheered for him, and he felt a sense of supreme confidence and accomplishment. The mysterious man smiled, "From now on, you are an unsurpassed legend, and the power of the best shooting shoes will be with you. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 44. Han-Yun's return to the real world, and the power of sneakers and light and shadow clones still existed, allowing him to create miracles on any court. He embarked on a global tour, leading young people from all over the world to challenge extreme stadiums, and the best shooting shoes became a legendary symbol in the football world. In every game, the sneakers can sense the opponent's strategy and the court environment, making Han-Yun's shots extremely accurate. The interaction between light and shadow and the court makes the game feel like a magic show, attracting the attention of the world. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 45. The Global Legends Tournament has reached its climax, and Han-Yun's faces the final conspiracy, a mysterious group trying to seize the power of the best shooting shoes. He used all his light and shadow defense on the court, and the glow of his sneakers illuminated the entire city, stopping his opponents from acting. The opponent dispatches elite players, everyone has abnormal abilities, and the stadium changes rapidly. Han-Yun's used light and shadow clones and strategies to continuously crack the offensive, and the sneakers and wisdom were completely integrated to complete unreasonable shots. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 46. The final battle location, top of light and shadow. The stadium floats above the galaxy, and the stadium is full of light and shadow vortices and energy barriers. Han-Yun's performed the ultimate light and shadow burst. Multiple light and shadow clones controlled the ball at the same time, and the ball flew in the galaxy, breaking through the enemy defenses. Opponents attempt to interfere with the sneakers with dark energy, but the light and shadow clones form a shield that stabilizes the court. The sneaker shine and clone power reached their peak, and they shot continuously to complete the final victory. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 47. After the decisive battle at the top of light and shadow, fans around the world cheered for Han-Yun's, and he became an unsurpassed legend. The best shooting shoes have a gentle glow and are completely integrated with him, symbolizing the ultimate combination of strength, wisdom, and courage. For the first time, he truly felt that this was not just football, but the crystallization of life, wisdom, courage, and perseverance. The mysterious man smiled. From now on, your name will be sung in the history of world football. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 48. After the victory, Han-Yun's began a global tour of performances and training, passing on the power of the best shooting shoes to young people. The stadium is no longer just a competition, but also a stage for the art of light and shadow and power. The legend of the best shooting shoes has been witnessed by countless people, and the light and shadow merge with the stadium into a world wonder. Han-Yun's understands that his legend is not only a victory, but also a symbol of wisdom, strategy, and courage. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 49. Many years later, Han-Yun stood on the top of the stars and looked back, and the world's legendary players grew because of him. The glow of the best shooting shoes is still there, reminding him that strength and responsibility coexist. Memories of the court, the light, the clones, and the elemental trials shone like a galaxy, and he knew that true legends were not the end, but eternal inheritance. Underscore 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 un. Chapter 50. Han-Yun's held the best shooting shoes, stared at the sky and the river of light, and silently thought in his heart, no matter how many challenges there are in the future, I will use wisdom, strategy, courage, and the best shooting shoes to create my own legendary life. The skylight river illuminates the whole world, light and shadow clones fly in the clouds, and fans around the world cheer for him. The power of the best shooting shoes is no longer just a tool, but a symbol of legend, and Han-Yun's name will forever be passed down in the history of football and the fantasy world. Light and shadow, sneakers, legends, everything came to a successful end.